Test. There we go. Our sound guy's sleeping, I think. All right. Hey, good evening. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. We hope that you are ready to laugh, have a great time, and we have a great lineup. We got 4 what we call local celebrities. You'll be able to determine if they're celebrities or not when they get up here. And then we have 2 other guys. Well, one's a lady. Sorry, Jude. And that'll be up here. And then Marty's going to come up and hit the home run at the end. So you're not here to hear me, but first I want to just say again, thank you for coming out. This is a fundraiser for our mission trip in March. And so we thank you for coming out, buying a ticket, supporting us through concessions. And so without further ado, let's get going with our local celebrities. First up is Mark Hill from United Way.
Hey, thank you. You know, I debated about what to talk about tonight because I'm in a church, right? And I'm Catholic, so first thing I went to was altar boy jokes. And I thought, no, I can't tell altar boy jokes, right? So then I thought, maybe I need to tell the classic priest, minister, and rabbi story, because that has appeal all across all faiths, right? So here it goes, and this is my local adaptation of that. My priest, Father Tony, at the old cathedral, your pastor, Debbie, and a rabbi to be named later meet in the backyard of the old cathedral and decide how are they going to determine what money gets saved for God and the parish and what goes to the minister. So Father Tony draws a tiny little circle in the backyard of the old cathedral, stands inside of it and says, I take the collection plate, throw it up in the air, and whatever lands in the little circle stays with me. Whatever lands outside goes to God and the parish. And Deb, yes, oh, right, I appreciate that. Yes, I have one Catholic in the audience. So then Debbie says, as she nods in agreement, yes, Father, I agree. That's kind of the same philosophy I have, only I draw a great big circle. And I stand in the middle because I'm a member of the parish. And I take the collection plate and I throw it up to the heavens. And whatever comes down inside the circle goes to God and the parish. And what lands way outside there is for me and my family. Right, Debbie? You agree? Right, yes, absolutely. So then the rabbi shakes his head the whole time. He goes, you know, I have a close relationship with God. He says, God, here's the money. I throw it up in the air. What you want to keep stays up there. What comes down here is for me. All right. Maybe I should just stop, right? I should just stop, right? So I decided to talk about my grandchildren because Mike and Debbie over here and my wife and I are co-grandparents to 4 lovely grandchildren. So is that my 1-minute warning? Okay. So here's my close. No. I'll go. We'll talk about the grandchildren later. So when I was a kid, I didn't read Superman, Batman, or Jughead and the, Archie comic books. I read Mad Magazine because that was the kind of kid I was. And so I learned elephant jokes. My parents, when I was 7 years old, bought me a joke book, 101 elephant jokes. I still remember 90 of them to this date. Now, my favorite elephant jokes are 2-part elephant jokes. So the first is the setup. It's sort of cute. You'll get it. But the second is the funny part, and you'll know the punchline, and I want you to say it along with me because you're a very smart audience, right? Okay, here's the first. Why do ducks have flat feet? Anybody? To stomp out forest fires. Why do elephants have flat feet? To stomp out flaming ducks. You were close. Okay. Second 2-part joke. Okay. What do elephants do for fun? They jump out of palm trees between 3 and 4 in the afternoon. Why are alligators flat? They walk in the forest between 3 and 4 in the afternoon. Come on. You had that, right? Last joke, big finish. My only goal is to beat Dennis. It's my only goal. Big finish. How do you shoot a blue elephant? I heard it. With a blue elephant gun. Right? How do you shoot a pink elephant? No, you hold his trunk till he turns blue, and then you shoot him with? My name is Mark Hill. Vote for me. Other than Mike Salters, I'm Colette Salters' favorite grandfather. Right?
Thank you, Mark. Give it up for Mark real quick. Next up, Dennis Cordes. Let's see what...
I really think Mark should have went with a dance. He was at the ABBA concert the other night. You've not seen anything until you've seen him dance to Mamma Mia and Dancing Queen. It was fantastic. My name's Dennis, and you might take a guess what my nickname was when I was a kid. Dennis the cute little kid next door. You monsters. Well, my name's Dennis, and I was a sailor, so I want you to all take a moment to look around, find a fire door, in case I get hit by lightning at any point here. I don't really have a comedy act. I'm just kind of me, so I'm going to tell a couple of funny stories. I ride motorcycles, and I've done a pretty rambunctious life. I've had some near-death experience, but I had one recently at the YMCA. I read to the little kids, and I went to the YMCA, and they took me into a room that had a foam pit with these little square foam things. And the lady there said, "Oh, just jump in. It's really fun." So I fell backwards into the foam pit. And it was really comfortable for about, a minute. And then I realized, hey, I got to get out of this thing and go read to the kids. That's when I discovered the foam pit's like quicksand. I clawed my way to the side. The whole time, one little kid was picking up squares and beaning me with them. And the more I tried to avoid him, the more he gleefully threw them at me. So I get to the corner, and I finally claw my way out of this thing, and I laid there, and I thought, "Dear Lord, please let me survive this. I don't want to die in a foam pit." The next is not really a near-death experience, and it's something my wife did to me. Now, my wife is long-suffering. I love her to death, but she uses this stuff called Avon Skin So Soft. And she puts it on when she's in the shower sometimes. So when I get in the shower, I like to conserve water, so I turn it all the way to hot, then I pull the curtain back, and I feel until it's just starting to get warm. Then I step in and turn it down. Well, this day, she didn't rinse the Avon Skin So Soft out of the tub. I thought I got hit by lightning. I'm not kidding. I was down so fast, and I laid there dazed, and that's when the water really got hot. Thankfully, I could defend myself with what was left of the shower curtain. She still doesn't believe that happened, but I got a scar if anybody... Maybe later. Yeah, I don't have any elephant jokes. I don't have any elephant jokes. Is Emily here, my cookie hookup? Okay, all right, I can talk about her then. So I go to my doctor here last year, and he examines me, and he takes my blood and all, and it all comes back great. And he acts like I cheated him out of something. And he calls me an athletic fat guy. He later says it's a compliment, but it's one of those backhanded compliments at best. Now, I say that because I had another backhanded compliment the other day from my wife again. As I was getting out of the tub, she looked at me and said, "You look like a silverback gorilla." That doesn't seem like a compliment to me. So I go to work, and I ask the girls at work. There's some of them in the back. And I said, "Hey, my wife called me a silverback gorilla. Is that a compliment?" And you could have heard a pin drop. They're all like looking like, "Oh, geez, should we tell him he looks like a silverback gorilla?" Finally, one of them says, "Well, yeah, that's a compliment. Yeah, it's like you're the leader of the group, and you're majestic looking. Not like a lion majestic, apparently, more like a silverback gorilla." So, yeah. Still got pretty quiet in there. So, yeah. How much time do I have? I'll stay here for an hour if you want. Is that all I got?
You're done.
That's it? But I didn't get to tell my cookie story for little Emily, the Girl Scout.
I got to take it or else we're not going to get it. All right. Next up, I think he's coming from a hidden room somewhere. Vic Klein, where are you, Vic? Oh my, oh. Here, let me make a path for you. All right, Vic.
Thank you, Barry. Barry, quite contrary. You guys like my outfit? Isn't it lovely? I didn't like it. I didn't want to wear it. My wife told me I should wear it. I said, I don't want a costume. Nobody else is going to have a costume. Why would I have a costume? She said, you should wear a costume. I said, no. She said, yes. I said, no. She said, yes. I got about enough of it, and I said, listen, Squaw. I, Big Chief, you, Squaw. Squaw do what Big Chief say. Big Chief don't want to wear costume. Big Chief not wear costume. She smiles at me and she says, if Big Chief not wear costume, Big Chief not have happy life in teepee. So here I am. I made the costume. I'm wearing the costume. But I really didn't have any jokes to come out here and tell. And what I need, I need some inspiration. I need to be inspired, kind of like when I was home on the farm working for my dad. I told him, I said, I need inspiration. He said, VJ, that's what they called me back then. See, I was born on August the 14th, 1945, which was VJ Day. Now, the normal family that is going to have a child, they anticipate this child's arrival, and they're real excited. They get baby names, they get books, they try out names. My parents, they looked in the paper the morning that I was born, and it says, VJ Day. Let's call him VJ, Victory over Japan. My arrival was probably not the most anticipated event in their lives, I have to assume. So anyway, my dad says, VJ, you don't need so much inspiration. What you need is a little bit more perspiration. Well, there's Barry anyway. So anyway, now we've got a wonderful pastor here. So I still don't have any jokes. I don't know. Oh, look, there's Pastor Debbie. Pastor Debbie is here. How you doing there, Pastor Debbie? Blonde. The blonde on the airplane. Thank you for the inspiration there. So there's this blonde that gets on the airplane, see? Yeah. She's going to Boston. Well, she goes up in the first class seats and she sits down. She's got a coach ticket. So the stewardess goes up and says, ma'am, you can't sit up here. You got to sit back there in the back of the plane because your ticket says you belong back there. She wouldn't move. She refused to move. The stewardess went and got the captain, told him the problem. Hey, don't worry, I'll take care of this. Goes up there, talks to her for 15 seconds. She jumps up, shakes his hand, gives him a hug, gets all of her stuff, goes back and sits in the back. What'd you say to him? Well, he said, I just went up there and said, hey, darling, where are you going this morning? Well, I'm going to Boston. He said, boy, it's a good thing you talked to me because I'm going to tell you what, these seats in the front of this plane, they're not going to Boston, they're going to Cleveland. If you want to go to Boston, you got to get back in the back. Sorry about that, Pastor Debbie. Yeah. Get my rig on here. Anyway, I've got a good friend here in the audience tonight. And I want to just give him a little bit of, I want to tell a story about him. His name is Eugene Hamburger Cozart, and he's sitting right over here. He's a great guy. But I tell you, seriously, Gene has got a couple pretty bad medical conditions. And, we need to be sensitive to him in that way. But anyway, I need to tell you about what Gene did to me. In my life, in this mortal world, there are two things that I love more than anything else. One is Priscilla Klein. The other is a McDonald's caramel frappe, full up with whipped cream and caramel on it. Oh, I'm addicted. I'm absolutely addicted. And you see, I'm rationed on these frappes because they contain caffeine, they contain sugar, and they contain calories. I get to have one annually. But sometimes, when she's not around, I double back and I get me a caramel frappe. So this morning, Gene is sitting in there. There's a group of older men sit there at a table and they have coffee and they tell true stories about their past. Yeah. So I said hi to Gene. We had our breakfast. We left. Then a little bit later on, I doubled back to get me a frappe. Gene was there. I said hi to him, and I left. The next day, we're in there. I'm in there with Priscilla. Gene comes up to her, and he said, hey, he come back and got one of them crappies. And I thought to myself, Gene, you old rat fink. It's all you got to do. Just blow your mouth off. And those two medical conditions that I'm talking about, constipation of the brain and diarrhea of the mouth, that's what you got. Am I done?
You're done.
Okay. I was going to tell my Italian funeral joke, but
I think
it's okay.
you're done.
Oh, no. See ya.
I think I let him go just a little longer because of his hat. A Cardinals fan. All right, next up. He was voted last year's winner, so he gets to return this year for a second performance. Dennis Everett. You're on.
Is a picture of me and my grandson? You got that one? Hi there. Am I already funnier than the other guys? That's what I thought. There you go. This is my dog Willow, and that's her. I taught her to pose. So I said, hey, Willow, jump up. She's pretty smart. I'll tell you how smart she is. I'm going to get a stool. I'm going to tell you how smart she is. We're wondering about Christmas presents this year, and I've had her a year now. She just turned a year old. And so, come here. Here, look cute. Oh, she's a little nervous around a lot of crowd. Come here. So we were wondering about Christmas gifts. Here, relax. There you go. That's what I wanted, Mark. Yeah, we are. All right. So we were going to get Christmas gifts, and I told my wife, Kim, I said, she is so smart, we have to get her a telephone so she can text us. She goes, we can't get this dog a telephone. I said, why not? She doesn't have any thumbs. So she's that smart, but with no thumbs. So I have to look at my phone for some of my jokes. Last year I told you I was diagnosed with dementia, so I have to kind of look things over here a little bit. First of all, I want to introduce Willow, and she's, like I said, she's my service dog. I have a neurological disease, and she's my friend now, and so she helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate her. I need Johnny Ivers. Can you come up here a minute? Just for a second. I forgot to do something before we started tonight, and so I want to make sure I do everything right. He gets a treat. Yeah, I have string cheese cut up. Yeah. Here, Johnny. Thanks for the votes. You betcha. Okay. So, I was feeling a little depressed when I got diagnosed, so I went to see a psychiatrist, and I said, some days I have these weird dreams at night where one night I'm a teepee, one night I'm a tent, or I'm a wigwam, and one night I'm a teepee, and one night I'm a wigwam, and the psychiatrist said, well, you're two tents. So I have a church joke. Noah wasn't very good at poker on the ark, because he always had two of a kind. So I'm going to do some impressions, and everybody here, how many here have heard of Louis Armstrong? Okay, well, good. Well, I'm going to do impressions of Louis Armstrong. Love me tender, love me. Oh. Baby, let me be your loving teddy bear. Oh. Well, let me do Elvis then. Hello, Dolly. This is Louis. Dolly, it's so nice to... Oh, well, see, I can't remember who I'm doing. I went to a restaurant recently, and I had a 30-minute wait, or there was a 30-minute wait, and I said, "Do you know who I am?" And after a while, the waiter said, "Okay, I'm going to go ahead and seat you." So they brought the bill to me, and I said, "Don't you know who I am?" He says, "Okay, I'll take the bill." And I thought to myself, can't somebody just help me with my dementia? I called Kim the other day. I was going up 41. I don't know if I drive a blue Jeep around, and a lot of times Willow's in the front seat, which Kim hates because she has to ride in the back, and I don't have a back seat. And so she rides in the front seat with me, and I was going up 41 one day, and I called Kim, and I said, "Hey, all these cars are going the wrong way." And she goes, "I just heard on the news where there's a blue Jeep going the wrong way at 41. So that kind of made me feel bad. Yeah, let's do the other one. I have another picture for you.
Hey, Jay, next slide.
That's our new granddaughter, Eleanor. She's 3 weeks old. And we are so talented, she came with teeth. So I think she's going to do okay. The restaurant I was talking about, the next week I went into it, and I don't know, they must remember me or something, because the waiter comes out and he had his thumb on my steak. And I said, "Why is your thumb on my steak?" He said, "Well, I don't want it to fall on the floor again." So a husband and wife were in a restaurant one time, and they're getting ready. They get their food and they're getting ready to eat. And he goes, "You know, honey, she says, "You know, we always pray before meals." He goes, "Yeah, but I know who's cooking my meal, the chef. I know him tonight. And I know he can cook." Jesus and his disciples walked into a restaurant, and he asked for a table for 26. And he said, "There's only 13 of you." He says, "Yeah, we're all going to sit on one side." And my last one for you tonight is, I met a girl crying outside the mall one time. She had lost $200, and she says, "Can you help me?" So I gave her $40 of the $200 I found at the door. Now, see, God blesses those who get blessed. So thank you very much tonight, and thank you for supporting Thursday Church. Here. Come on.
Well, those are our local celebrities, and we're going to bring them back up real quick. Pastor Debbie here is going to help us with our judging. Go ahead, Debbie.
You realize that I scrapped half of my routine.
I know.
So these other guys had enough time to do them.
I know. And those were our grandchildren. Okay. Oh, there's okay. Okay. All right. So here we go. We have this really cool thing, this meter thing. And when you applaud, Barry is going to use this meter, and we're going to decide who the winner is. Now, because Dennis Everett won last year, he can't win this year. But you know what? Because he's such a good sport, he gets the prize anyway. How's that? Yeah? He can come back next year, and he can win next year.
I used all my good material tonight.
Oh, no.
But I won't remember it.
Okay, so here we go. We're looking for a winner. This is Vic Klein.
Well, he registered at 99.8.
Wow.
Wow.
That's pretty good. Okay.
Let's see what's next.
Let's see if we can
Okay.
do that.
Okay, Mark Hill. Dennis, who makes me
Oh.
nervous.
We
Oh,
gotta
wait.
tell- Mark's got a fever, 100.5.
Oh. A little
A little
I'm
pressure.
just thankful you didn't tell any
Sailor jokes?
Yeah.
You want to hear one now?
No.
Again, lightning.
Yeah. Here we go. Dennis.
Sailor jokes available after.
Free of charge. 104.5. I think we have a winner.
Got a winner? Winner, chicken dinner. Thank you guys so much.
Hey, one
There
more
you go.
time for our local celebrities.
Yes, there you go. Yeah. This way, gentlemen.
That's you too, Mark. Come on.
Okay, be real careful on this step. See how they're.
All right. Next up, we have our female of the evening, and she has been traveling around with Marty some, and so she's going to give us a little taste of what she's been doing. Her name is June Colson. She's a Christian comedian from Bowling Green, Kentucky. She's so famous, her name is printed on every calendar. June. Got it? Hey, she wrote this, ain't mine. All right, June, come on up.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much. Let's give a hand one more time for the competitors today. That was so much fun. Amazing. So yeah, I am June, and I got on a plane this morning thinking I was going to Boston. But I ended up here, so I'm glad to be here. Now, I am June Colson. I'm from Bowling Green, Kentucky. That's where I grew up with my mama Mo, my sister Bobby Joe, my little brother Dewey, and my daddy Hot Dog. Yeah, that's what we call him now. Now, before he was Hot Dog, he was Pudgy, and before Pudgy, he was Fast Eddie. Yeah, I was like, Mom, why does Dad have so many nicknames? She said, oh, honey, those are not nicknames. Those are aliases. Yeah, so you know the phrase, who's your daddy? It depends on who's asking. We have to be careful about that. So yeah, I grew up very poor in, rundown homes, and life was kind of tough. About the only thing I had going for me is that I was the tallest girl in my class. So I thought, well, I'm going to play basketball. That's what I'll do. Until I stole the ball, and I felt awful. And I just gave it right back to the girl. I'm sorry. Yeah, so they didn't want me on the team. So then I thought, well, I'll be a cheerleader. That's what I'll do. Until little Daisy Van Anker decided she would set me straight. She said, oh my gosh, June, no, I am so sorry, but we do not let the girls from the single wides on our squad. Just the double wides, okay? Right? But I found out they would if you could do a back handspring. Yeah. So 1 chipped front tooth and 2 sprained wrists and 3 concussions later, it was go, let's Raiders. Woo! They let me on the squad. Yeah, and the memory loss from that's really, it's getting better. Oh yeah, the memory loss, it's really getting better, it is. One thing I definitely do remember is the girls' reactions when they found out that I made the team. Daisy was like, oh my gosh, y'all, they're seriously going to let her cheer. She's going to ruin our reputation, okay? I said, yeah, Daisy, that's right, because now people will know that not all cheerleaders are she-devils. We can be nice. Plus, it was pretty clear that they were not going to greet me with open arms. So I just reminded the girls of whose arms they'd fall into after they were thrown 30 feet in the air. Oopsie daisy. Oh, you might wonder, like, why did I want to hang out with girls like that anyway, right? And I have to be honest, that squad really gave me something my parents couldn't. They gave me a jacket and a pair of shoes. I know, like name brand. So it was worth hanging out with girls that I didn't understand. Like, they would cry if we lost a game. I'm like, whoa, you're crying over a team that's 0-10. Okay, we're cheerleaders. We don't lose. We're 10-0, y'all. We're 10-0. Plus, the only way I would cry is if they tried to take my shoes. I didn't want that. So, yeah. And here's the craziest part that I can tell you about my cheerleading career. It was really odd. Every year they pick a senior to be cheer captain, and my senior year, they chose me. Of course, Daisy was still on maternity leave, so oopsie daisy. Yeah, by default. But no, honestly, the girls, they weren't the toughest part about being a poor cheerleader. And I mean like a po cheerleader. The toughest part for me was away games because our bus driver would always stop off at McDonald's on the way home. And little Junebug didn't have no Mac money. But that is when I learned, y'all, that the Lord, He will provide. Amen? Amen. This is how He provided for me, okay? In 1989, McDonald's had a commercial where someone would walk up to the counter and they would sing the entire McDonald's menu. And I found out that if you could do that and do it at a McDonald's, they'd give you free cheeseburgers. Yeah. So while the other girls were like picking out baby names or whatever, I was busy memorizing this. They'd say, "Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?" And I'd say, "Yeah, I'd like a Big Mac, McDLT, a quarter pounder with some cheese, filet of fish, a hamburger, a cheeseburger, a Happy Meal, McNuggets, tasty golden fries, and regular and large in size. A salad, chef or garden, or a chicken salad, Oriental, Big breakfast, egg McMuffin, hot dog cakes and sausage, maybe biscuits, bacon, egg, and cheese and sausage, Danish hash brown, 2 and 4 dessert, hot apple pies and sundaes, 3 varieties, soft serve, 3 kinds of shake, a chocolatey chip cookie, 2 and a drink, a Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, an orange drink, a Sprite, coffee, decaf 2, a low-fat milk, and orange juice. I love McDonald's, good time, great taste, and I get this all in one place. Good time, great taste of McDonald's, okay? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. It definitely worked every time until the bus driver got tired of it, and then he just took us to Burger King. So, yeah. You guys have been amazing. Thank you all so much. I'm June Colson. Thank you again for having me.
Thank you, June. All right. Well, our headliner tonight is Marty Simpson, comes from Columbia, South Carolina. You've seen probably our ads, or you've heard he's been seen on BET, ESPN, ABC, 1, 2, 3, I don't know, all of them. So he said just make some up, it'll work. And so tonight he's going to be sharing with us, and we're so excited to have Marty up here. And so welcome Marty to the stage.
Keep it going for everybody that performed. How fun was that? Oh man, I was like really uncomfortable backstage, wondering why this silverback gorilla kept trying to show me a tattoo on his rear end. I didn't know what that. Didn't. All right, I need you to not talk again for the rest of the show, okay? Oh, man, when I got here, I pulled up on, I guess, Main Street, whatever that was out there, and I was pulling into my parking spot, and I got here early, and there was a guy in the parking spot just standing there, smoking a big cigar, and like half the ash was off the cigar, and when I pulled my car in, I spooked him, and he jumped, and half that ash fell off into the cuff of his jeans. And it set his jeans on fire. And I was like, "Dude, your jeans are on fire." And he was like, "No, they're not." And I was like, "Liar, liar." Everybody's distracted during that joke because they're like, "Who's out in our parking lot smoking a cigar?" I'm just kidding. Y'all don't have a parking lot. Okay. Oh, man, this is what a dog would call marking the stage. I just like to get used to my atmosphere around me and get familiar with it. And I always say that, but I have never actually had a dog open for me and mark the stage before I got up here. So that's cool. That's cool. That's really cool. So I'm a little unclear as to what happened here during the competition. The guy who won last year can't win this year, but the participation certificate was the prize. Is that what happened? He got the prize money, but we're just not willing to say he won? Is that what it is? Is that what happened? So the gorilla won? Was it the gorilla? Was it the gorilla that won? Did you win? Because it was vague. It was vague. It was like temperatures, and I didn't quite understand it. It's okay, though. It's okay. It's all right. Don't stress. This is not part of the paid part of the show yet. This is just me feeling it out, kind of warming up for myself, my crowd here, just feeling y'all out. I'll let you know when I start. I don't like to start right at the beginning. That's what everybody does. I like to start somewhere in the middle. You'll feel it. You'll be like, I feel like he just started, but it'll be after that. It will not be then. It'll be at some point later than that. Number one on every comedian's bucket list is to do a sold-out show at Madison Square Garden. But number two is the Macy's former department store in downtown Vincennes, Indiana, that has been converted into church that doesn't meet on the Sabbath. Or is it just branding? Do y'all have church on the Thursday, or is it just branding like Thursday Church, Sunday mornings at 10:30? Like, we got two services. We meet like Tuesday at 10 a.m. and Thursday night. We got another campus we call Tuesday Church. This is a cool place, though, man. I feel like this is like more suited to be a comedy club than a church, but I don't know. We'll find out after, I guess. I feel like every man that did comedy made the pastor nervous, so that says something about your congregation. Still, haven't started yet. Don't stress. Don't send any. If you don't like the first part of my show, you can send the email to I will not read this at martysimpson.com. After we start, and you still don't enjoy the show, you can send those emails to still won't read this at martysimpson.com. I don't like to start out all crazy, amazingly hilarious, and then you got to live up to that hype for the whole hour. I like to put the bar really low so y'all can be like, I don't know if we're going to like him. Is he even a Christian? Did we vet this guy? I don't know what the deal is. And then by the end, you're going to be like, wow, I didn't think I was going to like him, but he got me. I don't fear silence. I don't. Glad to know somebody's enjoying it over there. That's good. This is a cool place, man. Barry called me like 3 months ago, I don't remember. And he was like, Thursday Church, it's just in Evansville. And so I did all my travel, north of Evansville. So I did all my travel. I was in Charlotte on Wednesday, Knoxville, Thursday, Nashville Friday, and then north of Evansville over here, which apparently is not in the central time zone, even though it's further that way on the map than Nashville, where I woke up this morning. So got here a little late, approximately 1 hour later than I meant to get here, give or take. But it's cool, though. I didn't have time to stop for food, so I had to run into Casey's Workshop, whatever that place was. Those little chicken niblet things, it was good. And they had Casey's barbecue sauce, which is straight up Sweet Baby Ray's in a little thing there. That is not even, they're not even apologizing about it. It just is Sweet Baby Ray's in a different branding container there. And they serve yellow Jell-O as their honey mustard, so I did not try that. I opened it, and thought, oh, that is Jell-O honey mustard. I am not going to put my niblet in that. We got a stray up here. We got a stray. I'm just kidding. I'm assuming. Is that the seat she bought? You bought and paid for that seat? Because there's grown men sitting on the stairs. Okay, just making sure. So don't feel bad, sir. The front row girl is sitting right on the hard floor because the people on the stairs had to pay the same price as you guys. So these little kids that are super comfortable, you don't have to feel bad about them at all, sir, when you're sitting up there. It's like a 7-year-old with a notebook coloring. But you stay there, all 20 of you on the stairs that are paying attention intently, perfectly. Okay, back it down the volume, not that high volume of talking on the front row. But we hadn't started yet, so don't feel bad. Because you're just interrupting the pre-show. You're not interrupting the real show. This is cool. Is the stoplight going to turn red when my time is up? Is that what that stoplight is for? Pastor, do you get the red light sometimes? You do? Every week you get it? What time does service start? Thursday night? But it's Eastern time, so let's back that up. The service is at 10:45 on Sundays. Do y'all meet on Thursdays? Okay, I can hear it right here. You kind of barked it at me. We're going to back that down a little bit. 6:45 on Thursdays. Make some noise if you attend the church. Cool. All right, make some noise if you don't attend this church. Hey, that's pretty good. See, this is what's called a bridge event, people who don't attend this church. We tricked you into coming to this event. Then we're going to stuff Jesus in your face. And you're going to like it. It's a bridge event. It's a bridge event between the chasm that you have right now in your heart. We're bridging that event with chicken niblets from Casey's, barbecue sauce, and a silverback gorilla. I do one impression. It's God's will. It's God's will that I do this impression tonight because I only do one. That's not true. I do two. I do a silverback gorilla and an elephant. And I heard elephant jokes earlier, which I have elephant jokes, which I'm glad I remembered. This is my elephant. You're welcome. No, stop it. And then I do my gorilla, which I already did, which is really more of a howler monkey if you have a zoo. Do you have a zoo? Yeah, I know. You don't have a zoo. I just asked to be polite. Oh, honey, we're going to that zoo down in Vincennes. They got a donkey. I drove by a couple donkeys, but they were on the side of the road with tire marks over them. It's just the two. It's just the two impressions. I don't do other impressions, but that's all free. What did you pay for a ticket? What did you pay for a ticket? $10? $10. All right. So we haven't started yet, so don't calculate whether it's worth it yet or not. June got like 3 applause breaks. You heard from a dude in a chair that has some vague thing wrong with him, and he gets to pretend like he's forgotten his set. That's like a comedy thing I could do. I got a thing. I'm just kidding. That's a compliment. If you make fun of a guy right to his face from stage, that's a compliment in comedy world. I have golden doodles, though. That's a golden doodle, isn't it? No, it's a dookie food. All right, I'm going to bite on this. I feel like a catfish at the bottom that was asleep and I didn't even know, and then the bait just kind of hit my head and I'm like... Okay, well the poodle, I heard poodle in there for poo, right? And it's a Newfie. Okay, that makes more sense. So you say it fast to create the semblance that you're maintaining manhood when you say it? Is that what's happening? It's a Nuvi-poo. Yeah, it's a Nuvi-poo. No, it's a doodle though. That's a doodle breed. Like it's a crossbreed between something else, in this case a Newfoundland, and a poodle, and you put them together and form something with a really goofy name. I have 2 golden doodles, and he has a Newfie-poo. I'm gonna say I win the golden doodle name, but mine just lay there and don't do anything for my anxiety or my memory problems or anything. They just lay there and eat and just lay there. In fact, my doodles are having dementia now as opposed to me, so that I am their support animal is what is happening. Still hasn't started yet, so we're good. The awkward tension that I'm creating by pausing is on purpose. So be okay with it. Don't let it stress you out. It's kind of my thing. I was a football coach and a teacher. I was the head football coach and drama instructor at a high school for 10 years in South Carolina. Yeah, that did not work out. Every fall, I just acted like the football coach. It was a Christian school, too, in the Bible Belt in South Carolina. As the head football coach at a Christian school, what are you allowed to say to those kids at halftime when they're getting their butts kicked? You boys need to get back out there and turn the other cheek. It was a Protestant school, not a Catholic school, so they wouldn't let me run a Hail Mary. I had to run a Bless Billy Graham. It's just not as effective. My running back was like, my dad said I'm not allowed to fake a handoff because technically that's lying. Well, you tell your dad that we are not going to make the playoffs. He should be emotionally prepared for that. I taught my 11 players when they were on the field, if the other team had an injury happen and the injury cart came out to deal with the other team's injured player, that my 11 players on the field should hit a knee and pray for the other team's injured player. Because I thought as a Christian school, we should show that other school that we were willing to pretend like we cared about them. Dear Lord, we just pray for this other team's best running back and help him get all the way better, Lord, tomorrow, because he is killing us off tackle, Jesus. And I believe it's your will that we make the playoffs. And you said, Lord, where 2 or more are gathered. Parents of these Christian school kids would want to have a little parent-teacher meeting with Coach Simpson and explain to me that I wasn't playing their kid at wide receiver because I was showing favoritism. And I just didn't like their kid personally. And I would tell all those rich private school parents the same thing. You're right. I don't like your son. No one at our school does. But that has nothing to do with it, ma'am. I don't like the little twerp that is playing wide receiver, but guess what? He can catch. Why don't you come to practice and watch us bounce the ball off your kid's head every now and then so you could then understand what God's plan for your son's life is? Is to maybe be in the band. I got nothing against the band at all. I was the high school drama teacher. I put on the school musicals. I wrote the school's fight song that the band played every time we scored, like 4 times a year. I'm just saying it might be God's will for your kid to be in the band instead of on the team because he can't run very far without falling. He can't run very fast without coughing. He can't even snap his own helmet, but he can play the clarinet. The only reason your kid is still on the team is because my school didn't let me cut players from tryouts because they said it's not biblically right to cut a player from the team if he's always tried his hardest, always had a good attitude, and always been on time with his $26,000 tuition payment. What would Jesus do? WWJD, what would Jesus do? Jesus would cut your son from this team to spare the rest of us the suffering of watching him play. Okay, ma'am, sir, I'm quite certain that all football coaches should go to the Bible to see how they should act right now. And it tells all football coaches how to act right there in the Bible in a situation like this. And it's with love, peace, patience, joyfulness, kindness, gentleness, self-control, and we should be able to cut a kid from the team. If he's as bad as your kid is, just get out of my office. Just go. In peace and serve the Lord, because there are video cameras everywhere. So I was fired from that job. I'm just kidding, I wasn't fired. It was mutual. It was a mutual decision on our parts. So win-win is what I call that. People are like, do you miss coaching and teaching, Marty? Do you miss it? And I'm like, I miss it every day. It was the best job ever. I loved it. And people are like, you look like you miss it. You look like you want to get back into it. Would you ever coach again? I was like, I would get back into coaching and teaching tomorrow at an orphanage. See, there are no parents to deal with at an orphanage. I just making sure we're tracking there. I feel like I lost you a little bit. I feel like I lost you. I lost all the people judging me for how poorly I coached those kids and stuff. They're sitting back there judging me, wondering if the show has started yet. Let's talk about my son. My 6-year-old son is a liar. But it's cool, though, because we can catch him every time he lies. Because whenever my son lies, he lies so slowly that it's obvious. Walt, buddy, this vase is broken. Have you been in here this whole time? Yes, sir. Alone? Yes, sir. Did you break it? No. Pretty sure this little mannerism is going to hurt him later in life in his marriage. His wife is going to come in with that new red dress she just bought, all excited about it. Walt, how does this dress make me look? And then Walt's going to be like, oh, skinny. Well, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but female comedians like June have it harder than male comedians because female comedians are told from day one that they can't dress too attractively on stage or else men won't pay attention to their jokes because men are men. So as a show of solidarity to my female comic friends like June, I, on my comedy tour this year, have been covering up the most attractive parts of my body. I'm down here, ma'am. I'm down here. I will not be objectified during my set. Okay, this is not how that's going to go. I went bald when I was 24. Yeah, got married when I was 22, though, so right in under that deadline. That was touch and go there for a minute, but I beat the buzzer. But I married a little hot gymnast-looking girl, 5'2", little gymnast cheerleader-looking girl, super good-looking. She looked 17 when we got married when she was 22, and when I was 22, I looked 22. And then 2 years later, my wife still looked 17. And I look like I look right now. So picture me holding hands, walking in here with that little hot 17-year-old like, What I'm saying is I got arrested several times. People are like, why don't you shave it all the way off, Marty? Why don't you shave your head all the way off? I can't pull that off. It's a different vibe, man. I give off the wrong vibe to shave my head off. I give off a vibe, everybody sees it right as I walk in, basketball referee. You got to give off a vibe like an undercover government agent. Oh, I look like an agent, a real estate agent. I can't shave my head all the way off. Can't pull it off because my head will never be the same color tan. If I shave it all the way off, I look like I'm wearing a permanent swim cap. Look like Michael Phelps up in here. He's like... But I met with Bosley Hair Transplant Treatment Center. They call it a hair transplant like they're curing cancer. They said they could solve all of my problems with my male pattern baldness for just $48,000. Yeah, that was a really quick conversation. They said, Marty, we can move the hair from back here, we can unplant it, and then replant it up here. And I was like, well, what's going to keep it from falling out up there? And they're like, oh, well, the hair back here is not susceptible to the hormone that causes baldness. I was like, well, how do you know that? And they're like, because it's still there. I'm listening. They said, yeah, just 4 easy payments of $12,000 each to solve all of my anxiety about my baldness. I met with another company that said they could do the same thing for $22.95. Lids. Sold. Women at the merch table afterwards were like, you look 15 years younger with the hat on. I was like, so you get it. You understand why I wear it. That's good. That's exactly why I wear it. 37, 53. I am 45 years old, okay? Not now. And this isn't gray. This isn't gray. This is Edge Gel has bleached this over time when I shave my cheeks and the shaving cream gets on it around the edges. It took it like 14 years to bleach it a little bit at a time. Most people grow the goatee to compensate for the fact they have no hair on their head. I grew the goatee to compensate for the fact that I have no chin. People over here laugh right away. You guys laughed when I turned this way. Like, I thought he had a chin. He fooled me. Man, you can tell a lot about a man by how he wears his hat. Coach, hillbilly, trucker, rapper, white rapper, worship pastor, Sal's worship pastor wears his hat backwards. No, but he's got a faux hawk and 4 tattoos, so we're good. Oh, no tattoos? Y'all judging that comment? Okay. That's cool. Let's start. My daughter recently started to grow on her 13th birthday, started to grow like horizontally instead of vertically. It's not what you're thinking. It's just right in this area right here, started to just grow out to the side till she could like put her hand on it. She kind of moves her head now when she talks a little bit, kind of like. It's just my bad parenting that causes this? This is not a thing that happens to you guys up here? It's just because I'm a horrible parent. I am. I'm a terrible parent. I'm a great dad. I'm a great father. A father teaches lessons. You're not going to lie. But a parent gets their kid to school on time. My kid is not going to lie, but she is going to be late to school. Mr. Simpson, that's the 4th time this week. Hold on a second. Savannah, that's the 4th time this week. You're late. And Savannah's like, well, we left late. Maybe we should make the turn your cell phones off announcement. I get a call from the principal, Mr. Simpson, that's the 4th time this week you were late. Why were y'all late? And I'm like, yeah, but what did she say the reason was? Well, she just said you left late. And I'm like, well, I got nothing left to talk to you about then. I go micromanage my house. See, kids, that's hanging up a phone back in the old days. Boom. I know it's been 20 years since that's relevant, but it's just not a funny act out to be like, well, I got nothing left to talk to you about then. You're never going to get the joy of hanging up on somebody. You can't be like, I don't want to see you anymore. Bing! Y'all are just like, I think we're breaking up. It's not the same impact. No, but my kid is awesome, man. She's the best kid ever. I love her. Wouldn't change a hair on her head. Coaches love her. Parents love her. She's fantastic. But when she's talking to me with that hand on her hip, I don't care what she's saying to me. I feel like she's talking back to me. Dad, we made you breakfast in bed. Happy Father's Day. Go to your room right now. That is unacceptable behavior in this house. But it turns out, we found out that she has scoliosis. Y'all are just going to laugh right away at my daughter's disability. I see why the guy with dementia's won the contest around here. This is this is a spirit-filled place, yeah. No, this is a true story. My daughter really does have a medical condition, a 60-degree curve in the bottom of her spine and a 45-degree curve in the top. Makes a big S, which she says is for Savannah. She's like, Dad, you're not going to stop talking about me on stage, are you, just because I got scoliosis? I was like, nope. No, but people think I'm making this up. It's a true story. On her 14th birthday, we had a surgery over the summer and fused 13 of her vertebrae to 2 titanium rods with 26 3-inch screws, 2 per vertebra, all the way up. 7 units of blood, 7 hours on the operating table, 7 nights in the hospital, 7 weeks in the bed, 7 months of physical rehab. 30 years ago, she would have been 9 months in a body cast. And the night of her surgery, they needed to change her sheets in the bed, and she just hopped up and walked across the room. And a lot of crowds clap right then, but I can tell y'all don't care at all about my daughter. Don't clap now. God knows your heart. That is, there was a clear window where you could have clapped and proved that you had a soul. And you missed it. But it's okay, because we haven't even started yet, so. But she's like, Dad, you're the only dad conservative enough to have his daughter's back fused to 2 titanium rods just so I'll never be able to twerk. It's like, amen, Savannah. I would have done that when you were 5. I didn't know that side effects may cause no twerking, or else we'd have put that surgery on your mother. How do you punish your teenage kids in today's world? Take their phone away. Take their phone away. That's the first answer at every show. Take their phone away. All right, sleep. That was just too loud and out of place. It was just like, yeah, sleep. Do y'all know what that is? And sleep. I taught that to my little girl and boy when they were 1 and 3 because I thought it would be useful. So if you have small children, it's useful. Teach it to them. It means that they should fall over and pass out and play dead until your daddy comes back and releases them from that condition, because it'll be useful one day when the bad people come. Just gotta sleep. Yeah, I just wanted to do it at a life group meeting when I started early when they were like 1 and 3. So they're like 4 and 6, and they come over and I've got like 20 church people at my house, and they're like, I'm like, sleep, and they're like, poof. It's cool. But then when they were like 11 and 8, we hadn't done it in like 5 years, and they were bickering, arguing in the grocery store. And out of habit, I just was like, and sleep. And my 11-year-old girl was like, and single women are shopping in that grocery store watching me do that to them. And it's like, I don't know whatever that guy has, but I want whatever he has. And I'm like, it's Jesus. Nope, that's a fake applause break. God knows your heart. I like to see how many laughs I can get from down here. That's 1, 2. It's not really fair to call this stand-up comedy. 3, 4. Actually, I just can't get up fast because I'll get a head rush. I'm not kidding about that part. You gotta go in stages. Oh man, that's cool though. Where was I? On the floor is what he said, yeah. I couldn't remember right away because dementia is apparently contagious. I got a workers' comp suit coming at y'all here soon. No, I was like onto something there. It was my daughter or something. Punish. What'd you bark out? Punish, what'd you say when you barked it out? Go to the room? Yeah, we're going to get back to the thing that I'm going to get back to. So you just thought you would pause and wait and interrupt with this groundbreaking idea of sending them to the room. That's what you said? Go to the room! You go to your room, sir. This is... I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Now, you take their phone. It's the first answer at every show that I do. How do you punish your kids? Take their phone. Except one show in Texas I did, the lady was like, isolation! Well, this guy just said, go to your room. I don't think you understood me, ma'am. I said, how do you punish? And she was like, isolation! Don't mess with Texas is all I learned from that. And they're in the central time zone. No, you take their phone. It's the easy answer. It's the first answer at every show. You take their phone. But it's not enough because they'll just sign into somebody else's phone and keep their Snapchat streaks alive. They'll just get that Chromebook from school and get their Facebook messages checked. You can't. It's not anything good. You got to do more than that. So here's my gift to you. You take their phone, yes, but you leave it logged in to her Instagram and you have it unlocked. So then you wake up at 2 a.m. that night, and you go with her phone as her to her Instagram, and you scroll back on the boys' timelines that you know she thinks they're good looking, like a year and a half, just like, and then you start incessantly liking every photo from a year and a half ago, just like. And then you comment on that new haircut photo of that boy you know she has a crush on as her. I really like your hair in this photo. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. 100, 100, 100. Fire, fire, fire. Hashtag hubba hubba. She will never misbehave again. The teenage girls are having a panic attack up here on the front row. Let me explain to some of the more advanced people in the crowd how Instagram works. You're more advanced in life. You're better in life because you don't need social media, and you're just advanced. You're just better at being a person because you've been a person longer. Boys don't use an alarm clock anymore. They take their phone, put it out, and it's on Do Not Disturb, so it doesn't ring or bother them while they're sleeping, but the alarm clock knows to work because it's a smartphone. That's a play on words. But it vibrates during the night when they get a notification, like someone liking a photo on their Instagram. So that boy that my daughter has a crush on's phone at 2 a.m. is like, zzz, brrr, and my goal is to do it enough until it falls off the bedside table, hits the floor, and wakes him up like boom, boom, and he picks it up and he's like, Oh, Savannah Simpson liked a photo. Cool. Savannah Simpson liked a photo. 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 Savannah Simpson liked this and 274 other photos. Block. Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram at MartySimpson19, or you can follow my daughter, SavvySunny22. Find out she's real. She's got more followers than I have and gets like 400 likes on a photo. She's like, we just like the photo, Dad. It doesn't mean we like it. We just like it. It doesn't mean we like it. We just like it. You just like every photo of your friends. It doesn't mean you actually like it. We just like it. I'm like, but you liked it. That doesn't mean you like it? No. Were you listening? Also, more advanced people, you need to know this. If you just got on Facebook, you can't like a photo of your grandkids if it's older than 4 days old. Otherwise, you're a stalker. Yeah, I just heard a lady go, oh, really? Yeah, my mother-in-law likes every photo from every photo gallery she trips over on Facebook, and she put a comment under one of my photos the other day that said, Marty, you look fantastic in this picture. I'm like, Noni, that picture is from my 36th birthday. I am 45 years old. Do I look 9 years younger in that picture? Stop stalking my Facebook. This is how you like a photo on social media if it's older than 4 days old. Oh, look at that cute photo of the kids. I like that photo. Done. That's it. That's all you do. You just like it in here. You just don't tell the internet about it. People get upset by that, but I'm just delivering the good news is all I'm doing. That's all the teenage kids that were having a panic attack earlier are thanking me in their head now. Thank you. Grandma likes everything. But it's exciting. I understand, grandparents, you want to like it. Just call them on the phone and be like, I saw the photos, but I didn't click like. I wanted to talk to you during your study hall because that's way less awkward. Leaving for the house, I was driving to this gig, so I left for the house and packed up the car, and my son was like, see you later, alligator. And then he was like, walk a mile, crocodile. I was like, walk a mile, crocodile. He's like, oh, yeah, that's my version. I was like, that's kind of funny, buddy. I'm going to put that in my phone and say it to the crowd. How do you spell crocodile? And he's like, oh, you spell it just like alligator. Only crocodile. It's a smart kid. This kid's going to work for NASA. But my golden doodles, I got two of them, Gus and Luke. Gus after Augustus McCrae from Lonesome Dove, my all-time favorite literary character. And by literary, I mean television miniseries, because that book is like 1,000 pages long. Who are we kidding? And Luke after the Apostle Luke, Skywalker. Luke wasn't even an apostle. That's like a silly joke. Luke wasn't an apostle. Some of y'all are like, I knew that. I was going to say Luke wasn't an apostle, and the rest of you need to read your Bible more. We got two, but we have an invisible fence. Do y'all have that up here in Vincennes? I know you just got the high-speed internet like last week, so. Do you have the invisible fence, the shock collar? The dog wears a little collar, and it's dug underground, and it shocks them when they go over it. Y'all have that? Well, we have it, and it came with one collar, but we needed a second collar for the two dogs, and the invisible fence company wanted $400 for a compatible collar. No. I called, they wanted $400 for, I was like, I'm going to Home Depot. And I got another off-brand knockoff collar. It's like a placebo collar. It's like a bluff collar. And I put that collar on the dog, and I'll rotate that collar with the live collar. And those dogs don't know which one of them is going to get shocked. But you see those doodles, man, they're smart dogs. Like a year into it, they go right up to that line where they can be shocked together. They look at each other and then lean out look at each other, then lean out a little bit more. Lean a little more, then Gus goes crazy like, and then Luke is like, all right, I'm going to go see the neighbors. I'll be back in a minute. Like 5 years into it, Gus was trapped on the mechanism where he can be shocked because he can make it wide. He was just like, "Arr, arr, 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 arr." And Savannah's like, Dad, Gus is stuck. Come help. I'm like, no, go get a camera. No, but he's going crazy. So Luke sees him and is like, I'm going to go see the neighbors. And then Luke gets over here and is like, "Arr, arr, 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 arr." And then Gus just stopped and was like, I'm going to go see the neighbors. I'll be back in a minute. See, one dog tricked the other dog. That's what's happening there. Okay, I'm just making sure. You know, you jog by a house with the invisible fence. What does it say on the mailbox? This dog is contained by invisible fence, so joggers will know. Our sign says, one of these two dogs can roll the dice when you walk by our house. Luke is a barker. Luke is a barker, so he wears two collars. He wears a bark collar. And this is a lot of collars, so keep up, Vincennes. This is a complicated premise here. Luke has a collar on that shocks him on proximity and one that's supposed to prevent him from barking. Actually, it's not supposed to prevent him from barking. It's supposed to stop him from barking, and it works. It's not real good at preventing it, though. Because when a cat walks by in front of our house now, this is Luke with the bark collar on. So Walt was talking back to my wife, and so I put that collar on my son. He's like, Dad, America's Got Talent tonight. You said we could stay up and vote. I was like, it's time to go to bed. Your homework, it's time to go to bed. He was like, but Mom said we could vote. I'm like, it's time to go to bed. He's like, but Mom said we vote. So for Valentine's Day, I got my wife this necklace. I didn't do that. I did Google it, though. They don't make them. When you get the invisible fence, there's a manual that comes with it that's pretty long and extensive. And it's like, don't test out the collar yourself. And it would have been useful to have read that manual. Because I was like, well, let's put the batteries in. Let's see if it works. And then you walk out there, and like 3 feet before you're going to get shocked, it goes, hee. And I was like, honey, this one's broken. It's just going, hee, ha, ha, hey. This one works. It's good. But Luke is like 6 years into it now. And if you read the manual on page 51, it says a golden Labrador, like a Labrador retriever, full bred, golden lab, it won't work. Invisible fence will not warranty. It just doesn't work. Golden labs will run and jump through the shock and take the shock because they're crazy animals. I don't know. It's like a picture of a golden lab in the air, over it, just like, ah! Evidently, Luke has some golden lab in him somewhere down the line because he's a crossbreed, but man, he takes the shock now, like 6 years into it, but he don't take it like a golden lab. He takes it like a man. This is Luke now, 6 years into this shock collar containment system. That's where we're at in Vincennes. We do not clap for my daughter's miraculous surgery, but we do clap for electrocuting the dogs. I feel like we might have started in there somewhere. I don't think it did, though. It's just a lot of coughing. It's just a lot of coughing, man. Whenever I perform, I do it's kind of a physical bit there. I don't know if you're noticing or not. I asked my dad, what could I do to make my show better? And he's like, some cardio? But whenever I travel, I take the best thing with me on stage whenever I perform. That's a picture of my wife, but hold on, that's not her. It's her. She didn't want to go to my 20th high school reunion with me. She's like, just wear that dumb sign you take on stage with you around your neck at the reunion. And I said, I will. But I put a little message on it that I wanted everybody to read. This is Marty's wife of 16 years. She did not want to meet you. It's a true story. You can go to my Facebook timeline 2010. See that true story right there. That was good. But she went back to school and got her master's when she was 38 years old and hadn't worked or had a vocational calling up to that point. 38 years old, became a second grade school teacher, which is awesome. Okay, nah, it doesn't feel genuine. That doesn't feel genuine. That's just one teacher trying to make everybody else clap. You always know it's not genuine when the first clap sounds like this. Like, as opposed to like, it's just like, better clap for that teacher. No, second grade. But here's the thing. I taught for 10 years. High school drama, middle school PE, everything like that. She teaches second grade, and she went back when the Common Core was starting and all that stuff and all that nonsense and whatnot. And there's a difference in the school system nowadays. There's words you can't say anymore. There's things you can't tell students anymore. Like you can't call a kid stupid anymore. It's like, it's frowned upon, apparently. I thought when I got into teaching, that was the primary purpose of teaching, was to identify the stupid kids and help them not be that way anymore. That's what I thought we did as teachers. But now, the federal government thinks we're supposed to identify the stupid kids and then just not ever tell them. Which that explains a lot about our workforce that's coming out of these schools, but you can't say those words anymore. And I understand, I get it. Like a kid goes to the library in my wife's class and picks out a 6th grade Lexile book that's way too hard for him, and he brings it back. She can't be like, you're too dumb to read that book, go take it back, get another book. She can't say that anymore. So they have verbiage now that they've taught the teachers that you're allowed to say. The kid with a 6th grade book, my wife looks at the kid and says, oh, you can't read that book because that book is a someday book. That's a someday book. Yeah, so he goes back and he gets a little kindergarten level book and he brings that back and she's like, oh, you can't read that book for the assignment because that is a too easy book. And he goes back and he gets a little 2nd grade level book and she's like, that is a just right book. Okay, I'm down with that. So the kid reads his just right book, and then he fails his quiz because he's stupid. Verifiably, in this case. And my wife puts a little red F at the top, and the kid gets all upset from the red ink and the F at the top. He's like, that F stands for fail. And my wife is like, that F does not stand for fail. That F is a someday A. I failed a science test in 5th grade. Had a big red fat F at the top of it, circled with a frowny face with X's for the eyes, like F. My science teacher handed that to me and said, have your dad sign this paper, bring it back to me tomorrow, and stop being so stupid. I went home. My feelings hurt. I was like, Dad, the teacher called me stupid. My dad in 1984 looked at that red F and was like, I think she's got a point. Hurt my feelings. So I went all the way through the rest of middle school, motivated to not get called stupid. Went all the way through high school, working hard to make sure I never got called stupid. Went all the way through college, making sure I never got called stupid again. And then I got out of college. And I'm a comedian now, so the jury is still out. But you all paid to listen to me. So who is stupid now? The back half clapped at that. The front half is mad. The back half appreciates their seats better. Oh, but my son, just recently in the 5th grade, failed his science test. Big red F at the top. But what was written next to my son's paper? F. What was written next to it? Not a someday A. Somebody said it. Good try. Yeah, good try. F. Good try. I was like, Walt, don't believe the hype, son. That was a horrible try. That F stands for fail, which implies the try was unsuccessful. Here's your trophy. My son has failed science test trophies lining against the back of his wall. My wife thinks that joke is stupid. No, but I like to fix stuff around my house, but the stuff I'm fixing usually my wife doesn't know is broken. So she just thinks I'm really bad at it and I'm no good at fixing stuff. And the dishwasher wasn't working right. So I got my knee pads on and my tool belt on. Got all down in there and had Walt helping me. And she comes running around the corner and she's like, oh, Marty, this dishwasher fix. This is a someday fix. Why don't you just empty the dishwasher? I think emptying the dishwasher is just right. So we got done emptying the dishwasher. Went shopping, the mall, and my wife had that leather handbag, name brand Gucci handbag picked out. And I was like, oh, honey, that is a someday purse. And based on how my comedy career is going here in Vincennes, Indiana, that is a someday with another man purse. Why don't you get that Scooby-Doo lunchbox out of there and put your knockoff Maybelline in that, and we'll be good. Well, when you romance and you flirt with your wife and stuff, that changes over the years, man. 25 years ago, I've been married 25 years. I'm excited about that. Y'all don't clap. We already established that. Nah, it's not real. You can feel it, you know. God knows your heart. We've established that y'all are horrible people. Haven't even started yet, and God already knows you're horrible. I mean, God says in the Bible repeatedly how horrible we all are, so don't blame me for telling you. No, but I flirted with my wife back in the day when we were 22, when we were getting engaged. I would talk to her for hours on the phone, pretend like I was listening the whole time, make eye contact, and we were at the restaurant. Everything was awesome, man. It was great. Well, flirting and foreplay in today's world, 25 years after you're married, is totally different. Pretty much now it's just tech support. I get home from 5 days on the road. She's been trying to print a document for a week. She's at the computer all like, I've been trying to get this thing to print since you left. And I reach over her shoulder, I click 3 things, and it prints. And she's like, oh, baby. You know what all the error messages mean. I was like, you want me to update your iOS? She's like, do I? So back in college, I was the it guy. I had the it factor. Now I'm just an IT guy. So it's just doesn't feel the same. I was jogging the other day, and I heard birds chirping, And you hear these birds talking to you, and you start to get spiritual about it. You're like, I wonder if that's God talking to me. Let me listen to these birds. And they're like, nope, just birds. But then I started thinking, like, I wonder if birds are sending out a little call, flirting with another bird. And they're like, that's the mating call. You know, one little female bird is like, brah. Then the male bird is like, meow. And then they meet and they find it. So I started putting that in my head. And I was playing this scenario in my head. And I was like, this female bird was like, who's hot? Who's hot? Who's hot? That's what I heard the bird saying. Who's hot? Who's hot? And then I heard a lower register bird going, I'm hot. I'm hot. And then they got closer together in the tree, and I saw him. And the little female bird was like, who's hot? And the male bird was like, I'm hot. And then the female bird was like, no, you're not. And then the female bird just got up and flew away. And then a school bus hit it. Because, you know, karma. And it's my joke, so. Who's hot? Well, you're hot, but you're flat, and that's a different offensive joke if you're human, but. It's not even offensive, actually. I don't know why I said that. That's a new joke, man. That's like the third time I told that one. I like that one. Oh, man, y'all are great. We should start here soon. Man, let's do this. Let me see. I got saved when I was 16 years old. Make some noise if you got saved at some point in your life. Well, at least you clap for that. That's good. You seem pretty. Make some noise if you're not saved and you're going to be going to the bad place. No. What is it, a good place? No, I'm just kidding. Now, I got saved when I was 16, and God spoke to me, and it was real. And everybody's like, how do you know? How do you know that it was real? And I tell them I was there when it happened. Yeah, but God speaks to me differently than he spoke to the Old Testament prophets of the time. Because God said in Isaiah chapter 20, I don't know if y'all know this about Isaiah, but he heard the voice of God directly. And God gave him 300 and some odd prophecies to predict about the man of Jesus, saying that Jesus would be the Messiah. Because God gave him those things directly and spoke it straight into his heart and his brain. And he says them differently than he speaks to me. Because in Isaiah chapter 20, God told Isaiah to walk the earth naked for 3 years. Look it up. The most Googled Bible verse tonight in Vincennes, Indiana will be Isaiah chapter 20. But that's proof that he speaks to Isaiah differently than he spoke to me, because you know how much faith Isaiah had that was the voice of God? He did it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if God told me, Marty, I'm going to need you to walk the earth naked for like 3, I'd be like, ooh, wee, Lord. I want to pray about that. Pretty sure the church would want to form a committee. I could give you like a week at the beach with a lot of sunscreen. I'll give you a minute to get that image out of your head. But no, I'm pretty sure this explains the credibility issue that Isaiah's prophecies had about the man Jesus with the Old Testament Jewish people of the time who didn't believe Jesus was the Messiah because they didn't believe Isaiah was hearing from God. Because of this little season in his life, you think? Little Jewish kids come running in the house. Mama, the Messiah is coming. The Messiah is coming. We got to get ready. And the Jewish mama's like, who told you that? Like, Isaiah told you. Like, naked Isaiah tell you that? Go to your room right now. Film everybody checking their iPhone right now for Isaiah chapter 20. Now, Micah walked the earth naked too, man. God had a thing for naked prophets. Don't blame me. I'm just the messenger. Look, she's checking it right now. You can see that phone lighting up right there. She's looking at it. Yeah, I think it's a vulnerability issue, really. I think God might be speaking to me here tonight, saying all of us should leave here tonight. naked. You think? I think maybe that's not God. Maybe that's just me and my heart wanting it to happen. Because, man, if it did happen and we videotaped it, that would be a flash mob. I'm just saying. See, a flash mob is when somebody does something all choreographed and flash. Okay, we got it. We got it. Naked Isaiah. That's some scripture talk there. Yeah, that's good. That was my sermon in my series there. That was the sermon series, Naked Isaiah. I love it. I don't ever get to see this joke pay off because, like, tonight when you get home, this conversation is going to happen. No, it's in here. He really did. It's in here. Really is. Because I do comedy at churches. I can't go around making up Bible verses. My God didn't have Isaiah walk around naked. Guess what? He did. If you encounter a modern day naked prophet, though, you get out of there. You err on the safe side. You let God be like, well, yeah, I tried to repeat what we did and they weren't getting it, but I understand. I get it. I understand. No, but I got saved when I was 16, had a little bit of faith, but Young Life, y'all have Young Life here? I don't know if y'all have Young Life, but it's like a youth group, but not church. It's like a party the guy has once a week and at somebody's house, and he gathers a crowd, and then they sneak in the gospel in little 5-minute increments during the week on Monday nights. We had like 15 people coming to the meeting, and he wanted like more people at the meeting. So my Young Life leader said, Friday night we have a basketball game, and if from the high school, everybody attend the game, and then bring on Monday night a ticket stub from the game, and for every ticket stub at the event, I will swallow and eat a live worm. It's like on the poster and stuff. So I was on the basketball team, and not an unpopular kid, and so we had like 120 kids show up with their ticket stubs, and he had brought an aquarium of water full of 50 live worms. And I thought at the time, a dozen would have made his point. I think a dozen would have been fine. We would have been like, a dozen, holy cow. No, 50. He sucked these worms down like spaghetti noodles, just like smacking off his face, just like. He bit one in half on a Ritz cracker, just like, because everything's better on a Ritz. It's just. Then at the end, he did this. This wasn't even part of it. He swallowed a goldfish. I don't know. It's like a bloodworm chaser or something. I don't know. Recovery ministry people get that right away. But when, I don't know, that fish got in that stomach with all those worms, I bet that fish was like, I'm in heaven. Because fish eat worms. Just, okay, all right, we're good. But I don't know, man. I just thought the dude was so cool. Swallow and eat worms. He was preaching that night, and I was like, man, whatever this guy has inside of him. You laughing at my testimony? Is that what's happening? Not the worms. Jesus, that's when I got saved. Prayed to receive Christ that night because a guy thought swallowing worms was a good idea. Just saying, maybe we're supposed to leave here naked. Just keep it tucked away in the back there. Just keep it tucked away. Way tucked away. Oh, man, my 13-year-old daughter thinks I'm too overprotective because I wouldn't let her and 5 of her 13-year-old friends go to the state fair in South Carolina by themselves because I haven't lost my mind. I'm like, honey, if you were ever to be taken, Daddy doesn't have like a special set of skills. I mean, I would run after you hard for like a block and then pass out. I would tweet about it and print a bunch of flyers. Your mother and I would pray about it a lot. And we'd for sure look into that milk carton thing. And then, honey, we would just move on. Is that too far? That was too far? That was too far. I realize like child abduction jokes aren't like everybody's favorite, but that's kind of the space I'm working in now. Clean, family-friendly, church-appropriate child abduction jokes. My manager was like, you got to be original. You got to find your voice. You got to find your niche. You got to get to your lane and stay in it. And I did all the research, and it turns out nobody's doing this. And I am dominating this market, so that's cool. I realize people don't like that joke. It's all right. It's cool, though, because I got another one. Just one more child abduction joke that I'll do later, right after I start the show. I'll do it at the end because I'm not sure if I lost you or not just then. So I want to end with it, not follow up right after with it. No, but my kids recently learned foul language from the neighbors. Don't get nervous. I'm not going to use any foul language. I'm not going to teach your kids foul language other than the word stupid. Oh, yeah, I always say that, like, I'm sensitive about the word stupid. People tell me that I shouldn't say stupid so often in my shows. And they're like, stupid, stupid, stupid. You said stupid like 70,000 times, and now my kids say stupid. And that's wrong. That's wrong. I'm sensitive about that word. And I just want to let you know that you're part of the problem. You can email me, though, at that same email from earlier. Still, will never respond at martysimpson.com. Now, when my kids learn foul language, I'm not going to use any swear words or anything bad like that. This is a bit about what you do as a Christian dad when your kids are 4 and 7. And Travis and Michael next door teach them all the foul language words. What do? I called my mother immediately. I was like, Mom, Travis and Michael taught them all the foul language, dirty words, so you're off the hook. My wife was like, we need to make our kids stop playing with Travis and Michael next door because Travis and Michael teach them all that foul language. I was like, I know, you're so right, honey. But Travis and Michael have a swimming pool, so. So I went next door to talk to Travis and Michael's dad, and he immediately cussed me out. Called Travis and Michael downstairs and cussed them out for cussing my kids out. And then the three of them together, like they had rehearsed it, cussed me out in unison. It was a spiritual experience. And then he told me to go back home, and I'm paraphrasing, I should mind my own business. So I did, and that'll be an important detail later in this story, because recently we had like 500 or 600 bats in our attic. Do y'all have bats here in Indiana? We have like evening bats, we call them. In South Carolina, we call them bull bats. They fly around in the evening and they make a little noise like, they sound kind of like a mouse. Like you'll know you have them in your attic because it sounds like you have a mouse. Like, kind of like a Pentecostal mouse. I called everybody and no one would do bats. Just one line in the white pages, not even a paid ad, just the Bugman. But it's cool, though. We got lucky because Bugman knew what he was doing, and he was a certified lunatic. Bugman showed up at our house, put a 24-foot ladder against the back of it, and leaned it into the gable vent at the top, the little triangle with the louvers, boom. And then one little bull bat fell out of the nest and hit the ground and scurried to the wall and started going back up the brick wall. And he heard all them up there. And he's like, Marty, how many are up there? I was like, I don't know, Bugman. Like 500 or 600. And then Bugman picked up a brick and looked at that bat and looked at me. And then Bugman said, Psst. Well, that's one. You know how people brag about being licensed and bonded? Yeah, I don't think Bugman was licensed and bonded. I mean, he was bonded recently. He starts to pump this mixture. Psh, 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 smelled like a combination of like lemon juice, Clorox, and murder. He saw the look on my face and he was like, Marty, this stuff is totally safe for the environment. Chill out. And then he strapped on a gas mask. Threw this stuff over his shoulder, started up the ladder, and then was like, oh, wait, hey, Marty, hold the ladder. So this is me at the bottom holding the ladder. Immediately regretting holding this ladder because he squirts this acid bleach into the gable vent. Whereupon I hear this. Evidently, these bats were now upset. They started to pour out of the side of my house like Niagara Falls of bat coming toward my face. And in a moment of clarity, I remembered that bats can see, but they don't use their eyes. They use echolocation to send out a little signal that hits the thing, bounces off that thing, and lets the bat know to dodge that thing. And I wanted these 500 bats to know for sure that I was a thing. So I'm at the bottom like, because you can't play chicken with a blind bat. They're not looking. You can't just be like, I'm going to go this way, y'all go that way. No, you got to just stare this down and trust nature. I don't think y'all are understanding the trauma that I went through here. I need y'all to demonstrate for me on the count of 3. Make your best demon-possessed bat noise. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it sounded nothing like that. It was the scariest 13 seconds of my life. Bats are whizzing by my face, forming a tsunami of bat in my backyard. Bugman squirts this acid bleach all into the vent until there's no more noise. They're all in here, and then he magically whips out an expandable screen and tacks it up there and covers up the hole. Then he slides down this ladder like it's a fireman's pole into the middle of a tornado of bats. And it's like, boom, wow, oh, wow. Look at that, Marty. Look at that. Wow. Oh, we good? We good? You said you had cash. What is going to be happening to all of these bats, Bugman? What? You can't be done here. He's like, oh, read your contract. I promise at the end of today, there'll be no bats left inside your house. What is going to happen, Bugman, to all these? He's like, Marty, chill out about the bats. The bats are going to be fine. They're probably going to go to that house right there. That house with the swimming pool. Deal. It's like 3 months later, I'm at the mailbox. Travis and Michael's dad is at his mailbox. And he's like, Marty, I got like 500 bats in my attic. Do you know anything about that? And I was like, nah, man. I just been at home. Minding my own business. It's like, no, Marty, seriously. Got like 600 bats in my attic. Do you know anything about that? Do you even know who to call? And I was like, nope. You clapped one time at the right time tonight. Good for you. That was good. See, that was wrong. That was just wrong. You're like a 1 for 11. Now, like 3 months later, not even 3 months later, I already said that part. The funniest part of that story to me, Bugman wasn't even an exterminator. He was just a guy. He was just a guy named Josh Bugman. But he answered the phone. He was an entrepreneur, apparently. I got his card if you need it. He's my hero. Well, I hate when a guy will come through town and close his show by talking about his merchandise and making you feel guilty about not buying any of it. I hate that. It's really tacky. I mean, I'm getting ready to do that, but I'm not proud of it. It's just, It's like a necessary evil. Barry beat me down on the price to be here, so. That's worth the clap. I'm just kidding. I say that at every show. Disney cruise. Yeah, Disney beat me down on the price to be here. Mickey. Nah, y'all are awesome. This is great. But I do have merchandise for sale afterwards, which is cool. I got it somewhere up here. Oh, here we go. I got T-shirts and DVDs and other stuff. Let's see. I got shirts that say my love language is sarcasm. And you might have seen them walking in. And I designed them to look like a Bible verse shirt. I got them in blue and black, so that's cool. And I just like Joshua 1:9, be strong and courageous. The Lord your God will be with you everywhere you go. Well, what does yours say? My love language is sarcasm. You just say, exactly. They're $20, but 2 for $40. But 2 for $40 gets you a free DVD. The DVD is free if you buy 2 shirts for $40. So you can get in line and work out your deals and steal from my family. It's fine. So, but the DVD is $15 if you want it. And I'm proud of the DVD. It's in all the Lifeway Christian bookstores if they're still in business up here because they're out of business in the South. But you can get it tonight for $15 or at a Lifeway store for like $4.99. But it's called Clean If It Kills Me. That's just the name I picked because I wanted to imply the struggle that it is to go around the country and go to comedy clubs and do corporate events and everything and talk for an hour and stay clean, after swearing at your family all day. It's just not. Now, you'll never go to a city in Indianapolis, improv, or come to a comedy club and walk in, and then I'm up there telling filthy jokes. Like, you're never going to catch me writing dirty. Like, you'll never catch me writing dirty. Never catch me writing dirty. This makes me so proud. I'm singing, catch me writing dirty. Only 11 people get this. Those 11 people listen to filthy music. Pray for the staircase, apparently. It was like writing dirty. Oh, applause break. Check their iPhone music section and see what's on there. Somebody was like, oh my goodness. Definitely grab her phone. Now, I don't care if you buy anything. I don't care if you actually buy anything. I just like these mean jokes about what I'm getting ready to tell you. But if you don't want to buy anything, come talk to me anyway and talk to me about the show. But be brief, because you're holding up people that do want to buy stuff. And if you don't want to buy anything, I totally get it. That's between you and the Lord. You might not even have brought cash because you had to pay for the ticket. You might not even brought cash because you knew it was a fundraiser. You didn't want to have cash with you. That's cool, though. It's fine. I take credit card, though. So, boom, gotcha. Stop it with your excuses. But no, but it is cool, though. But maybe you don't want to give my family $15. That's cool, though. But come look at a picture of my kids on the back of the DVD. Here's a little 6-year-old bushy-headed Walt right here. Just picture when you decide it's not God's will for you to feed him. Picture him holding that $15, like. And then picture yourself snatching that $15 from that child, just, and then putting it in your pocket, and then getting in that BMW I saw in the parking lot, and driving away as he chases you through the parking lot like, oh, but not long, because he's hungry. Oh, they drove away again, Daddy. Then sins, buddy. What are you going to do? Sin is in the name of the city. I don't care. I really, truly don't care if you buy anything from me because my wife is super hot and she is going to be hot whether you buy anything or not. There's nothing you can do to change that. But the first thing she'll ask me when I get home is how much did they buy? So I like to go in like, hey. All right, y'all got that way too quick on this side. This is, you were supposed to sit on the staircase, apparently. Yeah. I really don't care. I just like the mean jokes about my kids. My kids are totally fine. My kids are fine. I mean, they're thin, but. Now, if you came tonight and you wanted to get something, but money is the reason you wouldn't get it, there's going to be a group of DVDs out by the door. This is not a joke. Little stack. Help me, Jason, remember this. There'll be a stack of DVDs, 5 or 6, maybe 8, maybe 4, over by the door, away from the merch table. Just walk over there on your way out and take one. It's yours, from me, free gift from me. I'm not even guilting you into it. Don't send me money online. Don't even pray for me. I don't want your prayer. I just want to prove that I don't care if you buy it or not, so I offer free stuff to you, so you can't email me, and not that I'm going to get it and respond to it anyway. It's just, you know what I'm saying. I want to bless you with free stuff, but if you have money, I want you to bless me. So we're not keeping score, because God knows our hearts. That's all I'm saying. But there's bonus extras on the DVD that aren't on because I meant to say it's on Amazon Prime also. So you can get it tonight for $15 or at Lifeway for $4.99, or you can watch it on Amazon Prime for free. It's really your call. It's really your call. Don't even feel bad about Amazon Prime because I get 11 cents when you do it that way. So it's really the same thing. Now I get $14.30 when you buy it from me here tonight, and 11 cents from Amazon. It's like a wash, though, because they make it up with volume. I don't know how it works. But, no, it's cool. I don't know what that was. What was that? Was that the gorilla yelling at me? He's like, it's out the back door. Nah, but come look at the back of it. There's pictures of the Bugman's truck here. There's pictures of my kids, and there's some real stuff, but I don't care. I really don't care if you buy anything. I got other T-shirts here. I got a Captain America shirt that I'm real proud of that I designed, and it is a Armor of God, Shield of Faith shirt. Very excited about this shirt. I want to sell enough of these shirts to where Marvel will send me a cease and desist letter. Because this is my personal design, the Armor of God, and the shield is slightly lower than it is on the traditional Captain America T-shirt for right there. I don't know, maybe I was hiding it well, but it kind of bursts out a little bit when it's... But it's not really fat, it's just bad posture. It's like bad, look, it's a bad posture because I'm like my back is weak and look, good posture, bad posture. It's not fat. That's not fat. That's firmness. But so also it's the shield of faith. If you know your Bible, that's the shield of faith. But the F-A-I-T-H, the I and the H are lowercase by accident. It was a total fluke. And so if you read this quickly, it could look like shield of fat. But this is an odd little demographic for this shirt. It's got to be somebody fat enough to be appropriate to wear it and confident enough in the way that you look that way that you would sport this shirt and laugh at it. What I'm saying is I have sold 0 of these shirts. Actually, that's not true. I've sold a number of these shirts, but to no one that is going to wear them. They're all buying them as gifts, I think. Possibly a gag gift or an ironic gift, and you're all thinking of the person you should be buying it for right now in your head. So just keep in mind, you want a shirt, and now just know this, I don't make change. I don't make change. You're going to come to the table, and you're going to see money, and you're going to be like, but I see change at the table. I'm like, yeah, I didn't say I don't have change. I said I don't make change. So you're going to get a shirt and a DVD. That's like $35. And then you're going to hand us 2 20s. And then you're going to be like, you were serious about it? I'm like, yes. I said we don't make change, and I didn't have a punchline. I was just an announcement. Anyway, all right, well, give me that second shirt then, because I'll get the DVD for free. Like, I'm not stupid. Don't be stupid at my table is what I'm saying. 2 shirts are $40 and a free DVD. Shirt and a DVD is $35. Better start counting them ones is all I'm saying. I don't care if you buy it. I just like the jokes. Just like the jokes. And I got Naked Isaiah shirts. I just like floating that out there to get a response and see. That's the dumbest joke in my act. Who would buy a Naked Isaiah shirt if I did have one? Raise your hand. No, for real. Raise your hand. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the whole staircase. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Well, I guess we're going to find out if y'all are Christian, because I really do have Naked Isaiah shirts. This is going to be fun. I got Naked Isaiah shirts in blue and black. Let's see. Hold on. Where are we? Where are we? Yep. All right. Blue and black. We'll do the blue one. Let's get that first slide up there for Naked Isaiah. We're waiting on it. There it is. That's Naked Isaiah. So here's the shirt. It's got the Bible verse, Isaiah 20, verse 2. And next slide here for the shirt is, there he is, Naked Isaiah. So there he is right there, a little naked prophet. But I got his butt crack censored because I'm a Christian. Next slide, and we got the little Jewish kid and the mother, which is the appropriate response. Like I said earlier, if you see a naked prophet, you snatch your child and you run away. But you have that childlike faith, kids. You keep that faith. Like, repent, Mama, we got to go. And just get pulled away. That's totally, and even call the cops at this point, because that is what God would want you to do, I'm sure. And I got the King James version of the Bible verse on the shirt, not because it's any more hallowed or more spiritual. It's just funnier. Next slide with the King James version. Go and loose the sackcloth from off thy loins. This is the word of the Lord. Praise be to God. Yes, some Episcopals in the crowd. Good. That is awesome. Just FYI, you already put in your head that you love language of sarcasm. You're like, oh, I'm getting that shirt. That shirt is a fake Bible verse shirt. This shirt is a real Bible verse shirt. And I want to let you know, just real quick, and I've labeled it, let's do the next slide. I labeled it the naked truth. There it is, boom. But I want to let you know, I got saved when I was 16. I'm going to spend eternity in heaven united with God our Father, with most of you. Staircase. You know. Because a young life leader, when he was 23, thought it was a good idea to eat worms. That's why I'm going to be in heaven. So I'm just saying, maybe somebody in your life is supposed to spend eternity united with God our Father and us, because you listened to the voice of God speaking directly through me tonight, telling you to pay full retail price for this Naked Isaiah shirt. Unless you need a large or something, because this is a medium. Here's the thing, Pastor, let me tell you, I don't have any numbers to report, but this is a true story, 100% true story. A lady 7 months ago bought this shirt for her brother who is in prison. Not making this up. She said he's a skeptic and he's been in prison for 25 years and hadn't opened his Bible in 30. And she thought, if I take him this shirt, he's a skeptic, and he will find a Bible in that prison, he will open it, and he will double check to see if this real Bible verse exists, and maybe he'll read his Bible. And he loved the shirt, and he took it and thought she was lying, and for 7 months straight, every day since, has read his Bible. Yeah. Now, I don't have like a salvation report. I don't know that he's prayed to receive Christ. So, Pastor, I want to let you know, I've got data to support the fact that because of this shirt, 0 people have accepted Christ. But all the more reason that you should all buy it. Like in Ben Sins, this should, I'm just saying, maybe somebody in line behind you at Walmart is supposed to go to heaven because they're like, there's no way that's in the Bible. Yeah. I don't care. And then if you don't have money tonight, the last slide here, you can buy them at nakedisaiah.com because I don't sell them from martysimpson.com. It's just too many emails. But here's the cool part. At nakedisaiah.com, the gospel is presented in written format right there. So somebody who's skeptical is going to go double check you to go to nakedisaiah.com is going to get the gospel presented to them right there in written format, right there. Boom. So who are you to stand in the way of the work of the Lord? I'm just saying. By not buying it, you're making sure somebody burns. Just because you don't know who that is doesn't make it wrong. My manager's like, Marty, you push that product so hard, you should give away some free stuff. So I got those DVDs by the door, and I have these business cards here that I do parties, corporate parties, roasts, restaurant dinners, bar mitzvahs, quinceañeras. Now, these are joke business cards. These are my free gift to you. Just come to the table, and we'll give you a little free gift of these cards. They'll be spread out on the table. These are joke business cards. These are what I call my Jesus loves you, but business card. And we're going to skip forward to the third slide. So go ahead and put the third slide up there of the three in the run of the cards. Let's go ahead and put it up there. You can go ahead and put it up there. No, he's doing the right. I told him not to put it early. So it says, Jesus loves you, you're not alone. No, go back one. That's the fourth one. There you go. Jesus loves you, you're not alone. See, there's no way in today's society to tell someone to be quiet anymore because you're rude. We ruin America. My dad used to tell kids to shut up in a movie theater and people would thank him. Now they're like, look at the nerve on this guy when I tell people to shut up in the movie theater. It just doesn't. There's not a Christ-like way to tell someone to be quiet. Until now. You just give them this card, and then you walk away quickly. And on the front of this card, it says, Jesus loves you, you're not alone. And on the back of this card, it says, seriously, you're not alone, lower your voice. Proverbs 10:8 is a Bible verse that'll lead them straight to the cross for their salvation. I could have gone that way. I went a different way. Proverbs 10:8 says, a babbling fool will come to his own ruin, which is great biblical advice that he clearly needed. This next card is for your parking lot ministry for the people that don't know how to park right between the two white lines. Yeah, on the front, you put this in the windshield wiper, and then you just walk away and let God do the rest. On this one, it says on the front of the card, Jesus loves you and has a space for you in heaven. He does. He does have a space for you in heaven. And then he takes it off his windshield wiper and turns it over, and on the back it says, so why are you taking up two spaces? All right, let's start this show for real. I don't care if you buy anything. Here's the thing. What are we raising money for? We're raising money for a missions trip or a youth trip or something, right? Missions trip, something about Jesus, I don't know. Where are you going? Juarez, Mexico? That's cool. So here's the thing. I don't care. I don't care if you buy anything. I just like all those jokes, and I feel like I would cheat you if I didn't do my product pitch because of some of my favorite stuff. I'm going to give half of the merch money back from whatever I make after it's over. So I'm gonna give it back to my wife, who's gonna take it and put it right in the bank. But no, I'm gonna give back half the money to Barry, and then also we're gonna do an ask right now where we're gonna I know you paid $10, and here's the thing, we still haven't even started yet, so you don't even know Maybe the warm-up to the last little bit of this show that is the only part you paid for was already worth $10. So now we're just going to pass the plates one last time, and then that money is going to the mission trip fund. And I get a little tiny bit of portion of that also, but it's capped at a certain amount. So if we raise like $20,000 right now, I don't get, it'd be my fault that we raise that money, but I don't get hardly any of it. I just get a little tiny bit more to pay for the half of my product back. So I might end up getting the kickback of my half of my product back, which is not a lie because I'm actually doing it because you could just not give money right now. So it's God's will. But this is your chance to say, you know what? We went and saw a Marvel movie and it was $14.99. And we stayed here, and you didn't even start the show for 3 hours, Marty, while you're up there rambling. And that was worth $14.99, so I'll give an extra $5. But just keep in mind, even if it's $14.99, you put in $5, we don't make change. So we are going to throw these buckets at you, and there's going to be like awkward silence where there's normally music. But I'm going to sing a song for you while we're putting these buckets around. So I know everybody says that you should end your comedy show with a big rip-roaring musical number, but I can't sing or stay on the beat. But luckily for you, I haven't let that stop me. So feel free to dig in your purses, and you cannot pay attention right now. This is like at the comedy club when they drop the checks and everybody puts their glasses over their nose and they're calculating the 18% for the tip. I'm used to doing this part of the show while you're talking, and I would much rather you pay more in that bucket than listen to this next joke. Good, I can tell you're not listening. That's a good thing. So I'm going to sing a song for you. This is not the close of my show. It'll have a big ending, and then we're going to do one more thing after that. Then we're going to hang out and start the show after this song. So this is a song that I wrote for my daughter because she got to be older, and I wanted her to know when she's dating a man whether she could trust that man or not. Like if she's on the market and she's marriageable material, you got to have a standard set where the bar is where you can trust a man or not. So I wrote a little song. Let me tell you ahead of time, I'm not lying about being able to stay on time, so do not clap along like creating a super pale white beat that y'all are going to be a little off, I'm going to be a little off, and that'll just be a cacophony of offness that is just wrong. So just don't clap or snap or try to anticipate whatever beat I'm creating. It'll just mess me up. You can't trust a man with an even tan. He doesn't even look human. Really more like an alien is any man with an even tan. So ladies, when you're out there looking for Mr. Right, just roll up his sleeve and look for some white. Because if his arm is one shade, don't be dismayed to find out he's just trying to get sautéed by the sun. By the sun, you can't trust a man with an even tan. He doesn't even look human, really more like an alien. Is any man with an even tan? I know what you're thinking. You're like, Marty, we couldn't clap along with that, even if we tried. I don't care if you stare at his catamaran. Oh, it's impressive, I understand. Remember your Uncle Stan. He had 5 wives and an even tan. He had 5 wives and an even tan. But do trust a dude who'll drive a minivan, 'cause he'll take your kids to Disneyland. He don't give a hoot about his tan. He's a man who'll drive a minivan. I am a minivan man by my own admission. I'm easy to please, won't take a magician. All my dreams will have come to fruition when I own a Chrysler Town and Country limited edition. You can't trust a man with an even tan. He doesn't even look human, really more like an alien. Is any man with an even tan? I never would trust an even tan man unless that man was Mexican. Maybe African American, but not if he's Caucasian. Not if he's Caucasian. You can't trust a man with an even tan. He doesn't even look human, really more like an alien. Is any man with an even? Stop judging me. I said at the start it was going to be bad. Tan. Don't clap. Don't clap. Don't clap for that, or I'll sing it at the next show. Stop liking that. That's horrible. That's called a time kill in the comedy world. That's like the check drop. In a comedy club, everybody's paying right now and annoyed that they get their check that is $28 more than they thought it was going to be because they forgot those 7 vodkas. These ladies are like, I think we can get out now. It's funny how they waited for the whole song, though. That's good. They're like, let's go. Oh, he's singing. All right, we'll get out of here on this. All right, right now, officially, we're going to start this show right now. From this point forward, this is the part you paid $10 for. The part you put in the bucket, we already did. So you showed your appreciation in the bucket, or not, but this is the only part that you paid. So my email is stuff@martysimpson.com, stuff@martysimpson.com. If you didn't get your $10 worth, email me at that. I will reply to you and tell you, thanks for your $10. Good luck with your life. But I will reply, but this is the part that you paid $10 for, and this is the part alone that you paid the $10 for. So laugh hard at this one, or else I will tell more. Now, my school was awesome. When I worked at my school, my Christian school was great. I taught kids from all over the globe, kids from Korea, China, Africa. And I used to brag that I got to teach kids from Zambia, because I thought that was so cool. I taught 2 kids, Lusungu and Tandizo Sabande. These names have not been changed to protect the innocent. Lusungu is an African word that means mercy of God. And Tandizo is an African word that means Thomas. Miss Sabande came late to my office one night. She burst in like, oh, Coach Simpson, I can't find my keys. Where are my keys? I can't leave in my car. I can't find my keys. Where are my keys, Coach Simpson? Okay, I realize that I don't look like or sound like the wokest guy in this room. And I'm not implying that all women from the country of Zambia speak this way. That would be very insensitive and mean. But I am doing a perfect impression of one woman from Zambia who I knew for 10 years and loved dearly. And I'm not even doing an impression of her. I'm not mocking her. I'm actually just letting you guys know what I heard inside my brain, which was, oh, Coach Simpson, I cannot find my keys. Where are my keys? I cannot leave in my car. I can't find my keys. Where are my keys, Coach Simpson? Let me slow it down for you. Oh, Coach Simpson, I cannot find my keys. Where are my keys? I cannot leave in my car until I find my keys. So I looked for this woman's keys for a half hour until Lusungu and Tandizo came running around the corner. And she said, oh, here are my kids. Well, that would explain why she was looking at me like I was crazy for a half hour looking for her kids in desk drawers, lockers, underneath bleachers. And picture me saying, you know what, Miss Sabandi, I saw some in your third period. Maybe the janitor got them. Surely you can just make another set. And if you'd let me help you with that, it'd probably take us like 5 minutes at Walmart. Costs like $1.80. I used to lose mine all the time. So I just tied them to a string so I could swing them around and around and around. You know, Miss Sabonde, it is Friday. If he did lock them, or he did find them, he probably locked them in his office for the weekend. Unless he took them home with him. In which case, I hate to tell you, you're probably never going to see him again. Child abduction joke number 2. You're welcome. Come see me at the table.
Hey, thank you so much for being here. Marty, good job. Good job. If you have a church home, you need to be in church in the morning, okay? I know it's late. Go home, get up, go to church. If you don't have a church home, we'll be right here, 10:45. Not as funny tomorrow, but every bit important. So, everybody needs to be at church somewhere tomorrow, okay? Okay, thank you for being here. And we had a fabulous time here at Thursday Church. And I hope you have a fabulous evening.